Questions for Coach?
Shaun, very much a tale of two halves game. What'd you make of just kind of how and why you guys fell behind, and then what you were able to do to try to climb out of it?
Yeah, we didn't execute up front, and I'll take the blame for that because we didn't put ourselves in the right situations, and then our defense had to be on the field too much. It was just lack of execution on my part, and lack of execution on third downs. We knew that they were going to bring pressure. We had to win those one-on-one battles and convert, and we didn't. And so we put ourselves in situations that we shouldn't be in. And they did what they were known to do, is to bring those exotic blitzes. And so I'll take the blame on that. I thought our defense played well. I thought our defense played well. We gave them some short fields that they had to stop. But that second half, they came back and shut those guys down. And one thing I told them today, that their legacy, and it's a tough. They got all the cards stacked against them, and we're playing on E right now with our personnel. But they don't quit, and they're gonna play hard. So.
You talk about the play up front, specifically the offensive line. What was the difference in the first half and the second half? I know the injury to Ben Scott obviously probably played a factor too.
We tried to simplify it a little bit, especially when we were dropping back and passing. And then I thought they did a good job containing that front line. And then, with Trenton out, Emery came in and he did what he needed to do. We went down and didn't score in the red zone that one time, and so we would have had a shot to go 4 touchdowns. It's just playing from behind was too much, and we didn't have any time left to catch back up.
You were very shorthanded kind of going into the game, and then there was a lot of guys that got banged up. Some of them came back and tried to keep going. What was it like kind of going into it and then through the game?
Yeah, we are shorthanded, Chris, and we got guys that stepped up, and nobody wants to make an excuse that because it's football, and at this time of the year everybody's banged up, but we are really banged up. But those guys who came in, I thought, did really, really well. And they had fun playing, and they worked all these 5-6 months practicing, and now they have a chance to play, and I thought they did well.
First half, Cougs had a bunch of explosive plays throughout, and then kind of was locked down in that second half. What adjustments did you see or did you make to help kind of slow down with those big plays that were hurting you so much in the first half?
I thought that the front box did a great job just doing their job. I thought it was a huge improvement from last week. They played with a lot of attitude on third downs. The emphasis was really good on third downs. I'm looking at it right now. I think it's pretty good. And so, but I thought our secondary locked down their receivers, and then we had 5, 6, 7 guys in the box that contained the run, and so they did a good job. I thought from last week to this week they did a great job.
So Shaun, you got the 2 games left. Unfortunately, bowl eligibility is not a factor anymore. Yeah. Is just a matter of just to finish with as much pride, as much resiliency as you can these last 2 games?
Absolutely. I'm going to make sure, and I told our coaches, we will make sure we take care of these guys. We just had a good talk, and those guys are going to finish and leave their legacy of a team that will never quit. They'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get ready for the next 2 weeks. Against Oregon State is important, and then we know what the week after is, that our guys will play, and they'll play hard as they can the next 2 weeks, and then we'll figure it out. But I'm going to have a great time with these kids and our coaches the next 2 weeks, and then we'll see what happens.
Was that something that happened early with Trenton, maybe on one of the sacks or something else?
Yeah, he was banged up, I think, after the second series, and then he tried to play, but it tightened up on him, and we're not going to. I told our kids that their health is more important than anything else, and so we were going to let them go back in.
It's in the looked at as potentially keeping up for a stretch?
I don't know. I didn't. I usually get with the docs right after this, and I'll find out exactly what the extent of the injury is. But hopefully, it's not too bad, and he can get going. But I wasn't going to put him out in that situation tonight.
Over the last few games, there's been situations where teams have been trying to rally from a big deficit, and it seems like they always are, fighting, never trying to quit. Mm-hmm. What do you attribute the mentality to?
I just think that their character, I told them I was proud of them, and I get prouder every week because I see that fight. They could have just quit after that first half. It's cold out there, and they could have wanted to get it done with and just came back in, but they fought the whole way through, and I've seen that through every single game that we've played, and we'll see that for the next 2. 2 weeks, and so there is resiliency in this group, and I'm proud of them.
What can you say about Valladay? He was talking to the defense there at one point. Seems to be just a very consistent leader, energy guy.
He's a great leader, and he's the guy that is our vocal leader. He had a compliment about in the ending of the third quarter, or at the end of the third quarter before the fourth quarter, the referee came up to me and said that number one, not only is he positive in our group, he's positive to those other guys in making sure that the game is clean and everybody's playing hard. And so he's that type of leader, and he'll have a nice career after this college football season is done.
And Kyle Soley, did he try to go, or?
He tried to go all week, and again, I told him I trusted him, and if he's not 100% ready to go, and there's any doubt, I trust that he'll let me know. And he just couldn't go, and he practiced the whole week, but he just wasn't able to go.
And with Rowe, is that an injury or an illness?
Illness, yeah. And we still have a bunch of guys with illness, but it's this time of year, I guess.